going off, is Spanner the same as Cloud Spanner? Internal Spanner must have no rate limits. And that's not fair that they're comparing a blah, 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 cry, cry, cry. Welcome to GCP Life, episode number 51 for Friday, the 20th of October, 2023. GCP Life is sponsored by Kasna. At Kasna, we make your Google Cloud solutions possible. And I'm your host, Stephen Bancroft. On today's show, Google gets a few new hires, new Australian data protection rules and breaches, Cloud Spanner gets a boost, plus, was that the biggest DDoS ever seen? You bet it was. But before we get to any of that, I'd like to introduce the co-host of the show, Ian Brown. How are you going, Ian?
I'm good, Banky. How you doing, mate?
Good, mate. Good. Still coming down after the last show.
Yeah. The last show was absolutely epic. Loved it.
Yeah, a few photos getting around in the socials as well. What do we have? Look, the turnout was okay. 20, 30 people there, maybe 40 people.
Yeah, I think we had probably 40-odd.
40-odd, yeah. But it just went perfect. Like, it just went so smoothly, didn't it?
It did. And the feedback that I've seen on LinkedIn and the likes has been how awesome the show was and how people are going to start listening to more of the shows, which is exactly the idea.
That's the idea. That's right. And I ran the numbers, and we did see a little uptick on the number of subscribers coming as a result of that too, which is really exciting to see.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Look, I had a ball. The spinner thing was great. We gave away heaps of swag. Trent came up from Google in Melbourne and he loved it. Yeah. He was really into it. He said he had the time of his life. Even delayed his flight by an hour or so. Yeah. He said, I'm not going anywhere.
And that spinner was 100% last minute. It was literally a case of we'd organised the template and everything for a physical spinner, and then it was just a case of, we can't get the stand for this, so digital spinner it is.
Yeah, right. And you went hunting around for that, did you?
I did.
Found someone had done one?
Yeah, because the GDG Sydney actually has one. But we just couldn't get it in time.
They couldn't find it.
Yep.
Yeah. But no, it's looking at the photos, that's exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted just a panel there, us, shooting the breeze about Google Cloud and, that sort of relaxed, informal setting and everyone having a bit of a laugh about it. The feedback I got was that it was a very different vibe to the normal GDG talks because it wasn't a talk,
yeah,
right?
That's right.
That's not the idea, not to be a talk. And having that interaction with the audience was great. And we did the trivia there at the end. And shout out to Mr. Potts. I mean, geez.
we still don't know what Troy does.
And we still don't know what Troy does. Yeah, so we had Troy took the gold, Lizzie took silver, and Mr. Potts took the bronze. So he walked away with a bit of swag there. So well done. And I realised that we did say we were going to get a dish to go through the socials and look up the posts and give someone some swag randomly. We forgot to do that at the end of the show. But the thing is, there wasn't many posts anyway.
Yeah. Oh.
And as everyone walked out the door, I think Dee said, "Look, just take some swag off the table. We don't care. Just take it." And there was like one extra small T-shirt that was left on the table at the end of the night. So.
Well, see, the person that posted online could have got themselves the choice of their own swag.
Well, they could have, I suppose. Yeah, they wouldn't have had to fight the hordes over
That's it. Nah, it was super fun.
Good. Super fun, and I'm not saying no to doing it again, but I'm not saying yes just at this point. We'll wait. Maybe, I don't know. I like the idea of making it an annual thing, but I think now that we've done it once, it'll be a lot easier to organise. Not that it was difficult to organise, but I think it'll come together much more naturally next time.
Yeah. And I'll definitely advocate for doing it again.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's it was a landmark, 50 episodes, 2 years of the show. If we were to go 100, then we'd have to wait for 4 years. So it'd probably be more like around, the 75 mark if we could do it every 12 months. But we'll look into that.
Yeah, definitely.
Outside of that, you been up to anything else?
Mate, I've ordered myself a whole heap of these little Sonoff Basics Wi-Fi switches. So...
do tell.
Yeah. So these are a Google Assistant controlled power switch. So you can use it for anything. You can use it. We've got heated towel rails in our bathroom, so I can use that on a schedule in Google Home to actually turn on and off my heated towel rails whenever I want. So as opposed to just having
doesn't look like a GPO outlet. It's a switch. Where does it fit?
So it sits in the wall. So it's not a normal sort of like a switch itself. It's actually a switch that sits in the wall.
I see. It sits in line with the right.
So you hook up your mains power to it, and then on the other end of it, you've got a switched output that then hooks up to your Wi-Fi, and you can run all of your lighting and all that sort of stuff via these little switches. So I'm going to give them a wallop on a couple of little things that don't really matter if they break, like the heated towel rail. If it breaks, it breaks. I'll just get another one. And then, if that all works nicely, I might start looking at our downlights in our house, because we've got, I think there's like 16 downlights in our main living room upstairs.
Yep.
I mean, it's a big living room, but there's a lot of lights up there.
Yep. And you could do things like lamps, bedside lamps, and lounge room, your lamps and stuff. And how do you control your air conditioner with that? I mean,
there's a different one. So Sonoff have got different ones for different applications. This one's just a standard smart switch. They've got a whole
be like an IR
ones.
thing on it or something. Yeah, right.
Yeah. There's IR repeaters and all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff that you can get to control aircon and the likes. But it can control the whole lot with Google Home and turn your existing not smart house into a sort of smart house.
Nice, yeah. I've avoided the whole thing, honestly. The whole day, deploying and doing Terraform and pushing things to repos. The last thing I want to do at the end of the day is more of that. But the fun, the exercise of setting it all up would be fun. Yeah. But then I wouldn't want to have to support it when it breaks and I get calls from the wife saying,
yeah, this is true. The other part of that is that you can sort of do things like, I've got an issue at the moment where my young fella is trying to push his bedtime out further and further and further. I mean, he's almost 13. We're getting into the troublesome teens.
Mm-hmm.
And he seems to think that, I can stay up until 10 o'clock at night and still get out of bed at 6 in the morning. And and he doesn't get out of bed at 6 in the morning. I've got to pry him out at 7:15. So this sort of thing where I can just tell Google to turn his entire room off, and he doesn't get a choice.
Or turn the light on and the radio on blasting.
Yeah. Turn all of his lights on and blast the stereo.
Yes, well, when I was younger, I used to go out clubbing. There was a club I used to go to, and the trick they would use at the end of the night is to turn all the heaters on. All the heaters and the air conditioners on full blast to get everyone out of the club.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just used to turn, back in my night clubbing days, they just used to turn all the lights on and...
Oh, that as well.
Yeah, security guards would come in and go, right, get out.
Push you out. Well, these guys would turn the heater on as well. That'd get you out real quick.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, well, look, I haven't been up to much myself. I bought a pair of these little... I've been avoiding Wi-Fi headphones. Would you believe it, up to now, I've not had a pair of Bluetooth wireless headphones. And I went to the old Office Jerks the other day and got myself a pair of these Jabra active ones, because they were the cheapest ones.
Yep.
I'm impressed.
Okay.
I'm actually really quite impressed. It comes in a little charging box like that. And I had my phone in my hand. And I just open these things up. And my phone goes, I see you own a pair of Jabra headsets. Would you like to pair them with your phone?
Okay.
I went, excuse me. How do you? Anyway, it knew, and I paired them, and I haven't had a problem since.
Yeah, see
Been
the AI
absolutely
getting
perfect.
better.
Yeah, it's just incredible. Noise cancelling, the whole box and dice. Sound quality's awesome. They're what is it? IPF something IP57 rated.
Yeah, right.
So
Okay.
yeah.
I can't deal with the in-ear things. I've got to have over-ear headphones because the in-ear ones they just weird me out a bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I've never had a problem with them. I went for a jog and had them in, and they stayed in, which is my key criteria.
Yeah,
and they seem to work fine.
I had a pair of the Marley, the timber-backed Marley ones, the in-ear ones, and I couldn't handle it. They just didn't sit right, and they jammed in my ears. It's painful.
Yeah, right. Well, these come with like little different size rubber adapters. I haven't changed them yet. I used to use the default size. Seems to work for me.
Nice.
And I thought for $100, they're doing the job. They're fantastic, really, for that.
Awesome.
That's been only my tech thing. Outside of that, I heard quick story here before we get on with the rest of the show. Google's going to defend users if you get a copyright challenge using their AI generated stuff.
Yeah, this is. I think this is. They're just following suit with the other big AI players. I think OpenAI has the same agreement, and Adobe have done the same thing. So they're basically saying that if you get challenged on copyright grounds, they'll assume responsibility for potential legal risks.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting, because that's going to make the people that want to challenge maybe think twice about their challenge as well.
Yeah, that's right.
That way, because it's like I'm basically going up against Google.
Yeah,
like how deep's your bucket?
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure Google's got deeper pockets than your average Joe.
Exactly. So put simply, if customers are challenged on copyright grounds, we will assume responsibility for the potential legal risks involved. So have at it. Use Google AI and you're protected. Yep.
Yeah. So as I said, it follows moves from Adobe and Microsoft. So again, I think it's one of those things of they really want you to use that tech, and they've got deeper pockets than anybody who's going to challenge them. So, go for it.
Yep. Put it up. Yep. Put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Should we get on with the show?
Yeah, let's do it.
Google hires 5 new execs from AWS, Databricks. Here's who. Article on CRN. They go through the 5 new people that have been hired. You can go and read all the detail, but just quickly going through it. Elizabeth Moon, former position AWS Director of AWS Solutions. Now she's moved into Managing Director, Customer Engineer at Google Public Sector.
Yeah, that's right. And I think, so didn't Google grab a couple of ex-AWS people a month or so ago?
They did.
Yeah.
They did.
It seems like they've got their target set.
Are AWS shedding these execs, or is it they're just putting up offers that are just way too attractive?
I don't know. I wonder. That would be an interesting question to have answered.
Or is there like one AWS exec's got into Google and he's like making the call saying, come on over.
Yeah, well, that could be, but surely there would be an anti-poaching clause in his contract with AWS that even if he left, he couldn't poach.
Doesn't seem to be a problem.
This is true.
That's the people seem to be moving. Second cab off the rank was Robert Samuel. He was the AWS Principal Security Assurance. He's moved into Google Security and Compliance Lead, Cloud CISO, Google Cloud.
Yeah.
He's got a long history with Canadian government as a security principal.
National Defence of Canada and the CISO for government of Nova Scotia.
Yeah, so I guess he's made the move to the US, or maybe still in Canada. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, who knows?
And the third cab off the ranks, Yanis. I probably shouldn't pronounce his surname because I will butcher it. Papa Constantino. Constantino.
I don't know.
Former position Databricks architect, AWS senior principal scientist, moved into the distinguished engineer role at Google Cloud.
What exactly is a distinguished engineer, I wonder?
Looks like he's specializing in query processing and ETL. They do a big query and ETL stuff in Google Cloud.
Yeah, cool.
English engineer. And then the next one is Dan Gwen Lee. He was the AWS career chief privacy officer, but now he's moved into technical program manager, privacy, security, and compliance at Google.
Yeah. So he spent, he was the privacy officer, as you said, for 6 years, or nearly 6 years, it says, in charge of regulations and development strategies against cloud compliance requirements in APAC.
You're right, and it's not an APAC role that he's moved into, is it? No,
it's a technical. It seems like a global
role. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then finally, we have Yuong Xiao. Sorry, he was at Stripe. He was at AWS for a little bit too, but he was the head of engineering for distributed systems at Stripe. He's now the senior director of engineering at Google Cloud Serverless.
Yeah. So again, another one that he's been at AWS for a couple of years, 2009 to 2011, I think it says here. And he helped launch AWS IAM as well as AWS's multi-factor auth.
He was the senior software developer on those projects.
Yeah.
Another person that's been around the traps as well. So, interesting what's going to happen in the next 12 months with all these new hires and bringing in all these new ideas, I guess.
Yeah, I'd like to see, because the very first page on this article, interestingly, said something along the lines of Google Cloud captured a record $8 billion in sales during the Q2 2023 quarter, so representing an increase of 28%. So evidently there's a bit more money in the bucket now to get some new hires, and Google are putting it where they think the customer base is going, which obviously is all about data and AI and
security.
And security,
focus on security there for sure. Yep. Yeah, bringing in the talent.
Yep.
All right, well, we'll watch that space. But let's move on here. We've got deliver and secure your internet-facing applications in less than an hour using DevSecOps Toolkit. Now, I looked at this, and as far as I could tell, all it does is set up a load balancer in Cloud Armor. Is it doing anything else other than that?
Not really. It's the idea of this is to provide an out-of-the-box solution for delivering internet-facing applications. So it's a sample application included in the toolkit that demonstrates how you can quickly integrate Cloud Load Balancing, Cloud Armor, and Cloud CDN according to the reference architecture that Google has. And it allows you to deploy via Cloud Build or any other sort of third-party CI/CD tools and Jenkins, GitLab.
Or it's a bunch of Terraform, basically.
Yeah, it is. It's just Terraform. Yeah. It's interesting, though, because if you ask a lot of people how you should be deploying this stuff on Google Cloud, they just go, oh, well, we just have a web server and we'll just stick it on the internet.
Public IP address on it, put it on the internet.
Yeah, here we go. We're done.
That's exactly what I was going to point out.
Yeah.
I was going to, do you think they've done this because people just aren't doing it the right way?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So you look at this and you get the architecture gives you multiple environments, or the option to use multiple environments, I should say. So it comes out of the box with prod and dev environments there already, but you can add them. It's just Terraform, just add another environment there and off you go. The workloads get front-ended by the global front ends using external load balancer. The backends get deployed in managed instance groups so that they are highly available, and you're using Cloud CDN for all of the static assets in the demo app.
Yep, you're caching it all in Cloud CDN.
Yeah.
Yep,
And
absolutely.
Then again, Cloud Armor, because you don't want malicious requests coming in. So especially, we saw it years ago with Apache's. I can't remember what that request was called that used to get into Apache without any trouble at all.
Yep.
And Cloud Armor protects you against that, and it protects you against DDoS attacks.
Yep, as we're going to see.
Yes, definitely.
as we're going to see. Easy to set up. You put the URL map there and then just pass it through to your web server on the back. You don't even need to put a public address on your web server.
Nope.
If your web server needs to get out, you just use Cloud NAT and that'll let it get out to the internet. And it's all buttoned up behind that and doesn't need to be exposed at all.
That's right. And again, you get best of breed. So you've got cloud monitoring, cloud logging. It's all there. All your logs are there. You don't need to worry about shipping them somewhere like out to a Splunk or a Logstash or anything like that. You can see it directly in cloud logging and use Google's security tooling over the top of that to visualize it.
Yep. You want to put your WordPress there or whatever it is. It can have all the bugs. Well, not all the bugs in the world, but you can be a little more secure because you've got Cloud Armor there using its was it the WASP?
Yep.
The WASP
top 10. Yep.
Yep. Signatures to detect any compromises, and you can sleep a little easier at night.
Yep.
Cool. All right, let's move on. Cloud Spanner. Cloud Spanner gets a little bump. Now, you know how I feel about data and databases. That's why we had Lizzie there last week, thank goodness. Moving on, announcing Cloud Spanner price performance updates. Now, we're getting something for nothing here. Cloud Spanner, if I can find the details here, now providing up to 50% increase in throughput and 2.5 times the storage per node with no change in price.
Yeah, this is really cool.
How good is this?
I think this is a result of a little bit of easing of the economy and all that sort of stuff. Cost of stuff is going down, and Google's able to give you a little bit more for the same amount of money.
Economy of scale probably on Spanner as well. They got more in. Yep. Because if you don't know what Spanner is, high throughput, virtually unlimited scale, single digit millisecond latency, 5 nines availability SLA, and strong external consistency semantics. That's a mouthful.
Yep.
Are now available at half the cost of Amazon DynamoDB for most workloads.
Yeah, so interestingly, it's not available to everyone yet, but there are select regions that can get it. I know it's not quite Australia. It's not quite in Australia just yet, but it will be shortly. But I think that's really cool that it's half the cost of DynamoDB for much better performance.
Mm. Yeah, this is a thing that I've always pointed out with Google products. They're highly engineered, well thought out, and they clearly are focused on performant, high throughput products.
Well, they got to be, don't they?
They've got to be.
You've just got to have a look at, let's say, Gmail, for instance. Like, every single user gets their own Gmail pod when you sign in. So you sign into Gmail, doesn't matter whether you're on a workspace account or whether you're on your own personal Gmail. You get your own container for that, and that's backed by Spanner. Mm. So you've got to think about the billions of users that have got Gmail accounts.
Oh yeah, I might have 3 or 4 Gmail accounts open at any one time in different windows.
I've got a few of my own Gmail accounts plus work ones.
That's right.
Yeah, and it's a product that Google uses internally, so and it is something that backs ads and Gmail and photos and the likes.
Just take quote out of the article on that. Spanner is used ubiquitously inside of Google, supporting services such as ads, Gmail, and photos. According to the Amazon Prime Day blog post, DynamoDB processes 126 million queries per second at peak. Spanner, on the other hand, processes 3 more billions are better,
That's right.
queries per second at peak, which is more than 20 times higher.
Yeah.
And has more than 12 exabytes of data under manage.
And
that'd be across all the spanner instances, right?
That's right, yeah. And that's you've got to think of exabytes as we're talking about a level above petabytes here. It's like the next level above petabytes. It's huge.
It's How many swimming pools is that, Ian? Then I could picture it.
Yeah. Depends on whether you're talking about your swimming pool or my swimming pool, mate. Probably 6 million of mine.
6 million of yours, yeah. You can try it for free for 90 days and then get it for as little as $65 per month for a production-ready instance that grows with your business.
Yeah, that's really cool. Cool article.
Yeah, awesome product. Way of the future. I mean, I could see a day where all the other database products just fall by the wayside and everything's just on Spanner. Why not?
Yeah, well, that's right. I think the only thing that really stops people from fully adopting Spanner is it's not 100% code compatible with like the MySQL and the Postgres. It's got some limitations in that.
Yeah, but they have done work to improve that over the years.
Yeah, I can see a point where it does match like for like, but I don't think it's there quite yet.
Yeah. Time will come though.
Oh, yeah.
All right, moving on. Talking about DDoS and using Cloud Armor, we may have seen the largest DDoS attack ever. Google mitigated the largest DDoS attack to date, peaking above 398 million requests per second.
Yeah, this is huge. So this was as a result of the rapid reset that is baked into HTTP2. That's allowed. It's a technique based on stream multiplexing. That affects pretty much every person on the internet, or every company on the internet that uses the HTTP2 protocol. And Google have said they're able to mitigate the attack at the edge of Google's network, leveraging the significant investment in edge capacity to ensure the services and our customers remain largely unaffected. As we understood more details about the attack methodology, we developed a set of mitigations and updated our proxies and denial of service defense systems to effectively mitigate this technique. Again, that all just uses Google Cloud's application load balancer and Cloud Armor.
And this attack absolutely dwarfs the previous attack last year. And we talked about it on the show, this one. Last year recorded a DDoS attack which peaked at 46 million RPS.
Yeah.
So what we're talking there, nearly 8 times. 8 times the size.
Yeah, roughly enough.
Yeah.
For a sense of scale, they've got in the article here, this 2-minute attack generated more requests than the total number of article views reported by Wikipedia during the entire month of September 2023. Which is, that's ridiculous.
And they soaked it up. They've got a graph here of it. It shows it came in 2 waves. And they're about a minute apart from each other. And they both just peaked out at close to 400 million requests per second.
Yeah, it's crazy. So there was in better news on this, there was a lot of industry coordination for this. So soon after detecting the earliest of the attacks, Google got together with a heap of other companies in the industry. The collective susceptibility to this attack is being tracked under a CVE, which is 2023-44487, and has been designated as high severity vulnerability with a CVSS score of 7.5. And so, again, like I said, they've got together with others in the industry, and they have publicly in this article expressed gratitude to all of the cross-industry stakeholders that collaborated with them to thwart it.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the way now. This is the way.
It has to be. It has to be. Big companies like this that are handling internet traffic have to be working together to prevent malicious actors from doing damage.
Yeah. Yeah. To stop something like this, you're not doing it on your own.
No.
It's huge. So if you had your app set up properly, you'd be all good.
That's it.
No HTTP rapid reset for you. All right, moving on. More in the security space. We have a potential data breach in South Australia. Super SA discloses third-party data breach. It happened again.
It has indeed. So this one's a bit interesting because there's not a huge amount of detail about it. The breach disclosure is brief, simply noting that, and we'll put this in quotes, the provider is aware of a small cohort of members who may be impacted by a cybersecurity incident. And you all know what we say when they say, "Oh, it's only a small cohort." That means it's bigger
Just
than
wait for it.
Just give us a week or two, and we'll acknowledge the real size of it. It says here that it's unknown if any of Super SA's data has been accessed. The same examination noted that Super SA has engaged Deloitte to conduct cybersecurity, fraud, risk management, and data governance audits of the entity's own systems between 2019 and 2021. So we'll see what comes of this one. It could be nothing. It could be bigger than Ben-Hur again.
Yep. Interesting that this article does say they were criticised by the time it took Super SA to publicly disclose the incident almost 2 months after first learning of it.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's a bit slack, and we're going to see what the solution to this might be in a minute. But you can't do that, guys. You've got to be on the front foot with these things.
Yeah. You really have to be. I mean, if it's people's personal data that's affected, then you have to be all over it.
Yeah, I'm going to say it again. Let's just say once you give someone like this your data, just treat it as gone.
Yep.
Right. It's already out there. I think the table's almost turned now. I think it'd be difficult to find someone who doesn't have their PII on the internet.
Yeah, well, that's very true.
you know?
There is a small portion of the country that are super security conscious that probably don't have their information on the internet. But with the amount of data that companies hold on you and all the rest of it, and it's all digital these days because you got to think all the HR systems are digital. All of that data's in a computer somewhere.
Yeah,
it's
leaked. Like,
yeah.
It's just assume once you give your information over to some digital database, it is going to be leaked at some point.
Yep,
it's a safer way to think about it.
Yeah.
I treat my passwords like that now, right? It's different passwords on every site because that site is going to be breached, and once that password's out in the open, that's it. It's over for that password. So just have a different one on every site. It's easier. Use a password manager. And
that's good because there's password managers out there. Like I use Bitwarden for my own stuff, and there's like a security checkup in there. And it'll go through every password that you've got in your database, and it will check if any two of them are the same, and it'll check if any of them have been released to the internet so that you can change them. And I've got more than 400 passwords in Bitwarden currently.
And you're not doing that manually?
No, I'm not doing that manually. No. I do not have the same password for anything.
No, that's the way to go. Absolutely. Well, all right. What are they going to do about this? Queensland government introduces data breach notification legislation, similar to what we have in New South Wales.
Yeah, that's right. So this is specific to Queensland government entities at this point, but I can see a point where the Queensland government will expand this to private enterprise as well, where you must abide by this law. However, they've introduced a bill. It says recent high-profile data breaches demonstrate that loss or unauthorized access or disclosure of personal information has potential to result in serious harm to individuals. That's the Attorney General, Yvette Dath. And she goes on to say that's why we're establishing this scheme, so there are clear, consistent requirements to notify individuals of data breaches of Queensland government agencies so that individuals are empowered to take steps to reduce the risk of harm. So the actual ruling that they're putting forward is that government agency suspects it is breached, it must take all reasonable containment steps, and will generally have up to 30 days to assess the incident.
Right, so they got 30 days to report on it. They can't just keep hiding behind we're investigating, and just hanging on to it the whole time. They've got 30 days.
That's right. It does go on to say this can be extended. It can extend the assessment period via a written notice.
Yeah, I guess they would have to show evidence of their investigation and show, the complexity of the investigation and reasons why they need more days to investigate it. That's fair.
Yeah.
They've got a big network and it's complex, and these threat actors are trying to hide themselves.
Yeah.
So it could potentially take more than 30 days, but they've got to have a reasonable excuse for that.
And I could see reasons there for, reasons of national security, for instance, where you don't want to be acknowledging that breach just yet. You want to see if you can flush out that actor first, and before you actually publicly acknowledge the risk. So yeah, I think this is a good first move. I think it needs to be expanded out to private enterprise as well, and I think that certainly both government and enterprise should be required to report within a set period of time, and I don't think that period of time should be anything more than 7 days.
Yeah. The idea of a published data breach policy is an interesting one as well. Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
When you identify a data breach, what are your plans?
And the agencies will need to keep a register of data breaches. So how many times has agency X been breached in the last 5 years? And should we perhaps give them some more money for security, or should we sack some people that aren't doing their job?
Well, it's kind of like a wall of shame, right?
Yeah. Oh, it is, 100%.
And you can make a decision. It's like, am I going to go with this mob A or mob B? Let's look at their track record of security incidents, and that might help you make a decision, right?
Yeah, 100%.
All right, on the security tip still, malware. Once again, a headache for NPM. Will this ever go away?
I don't think so. I think this is similar to the issue that the Arch user repository has, and a whole heap of other public software registries have, in that anybody's allowed to put packages in there.
Yeah, push packages up to it. Yeah.
And so FortiGuard Labs, in an October 2 blog post, said that they've found malicious packages in the NPM registry, and the packages aim to steal sensitive data such as user information via a webhook or file sharing link.
Yep. Kubernetes configurations, SSH keys, and other critical information.
Yep.
Usernames, IP addresses, host names, etc., etc.
And they've got fairly benign looking package names as well. So, look, it comes down to don't use a package that you don't know and trust. NPM has been struck by this so many times it's not funny. I remember a few years ago the package where Russia first invaded Ukraine, and one of the developers of a very well-known package that I shall leave nameless put a bit of code in there that if they detected that you came from Russia or from a Russian IP address, it deleted your disk.
Yeah, right. And you heard about the recent one on Ubuntu 23.10.
Oh no, I haven't.
Well, it was kind of flew under the radar a little bit. It was in the installer for 23.10. There was some. If you chose the Ukrainian language to do the install, the text there was malicious text in there, or like text that was not nice.
Right. Okay.
In the installer, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit rude.
And it was quickly found and then removed because obviously that was put in there by the English speaking world didn't know what was put there, and it was put in there by one of the translators.
Yeah.
And they sent a message.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, NPM's had this problem like last year, I think it was. They had a crypto miner package. So some package tried to drop a crypto miner onto your machine when you installed it, and there's been a heap of them. So I suppose the key call out here is be careful what you're using when it comes to NPM and only use trusted packages.
Yeah. Or like if half the internet is using it, then you're probably okay.
For the most part.
For the most part.
Except for if old mate that develops a package is very anti-Russia.
Oh.
Because that was a very popular package.
Yeah, right. All right, enough of the security articles then. Should we get on with the AI wars?
AI wars.
Only one article for the AI wars. I think today's show is going to be a little bit of a short one because I'm still buzzing from last week. I'm just got the energy levels, they're slowly creeping back in. So only the one article for the AI wars this week. And we've got this one article, Google Assistant to integrate Bard chatbot and all other AI features coming to the Pixel 8.
Yeah, this is cool. And yeah, I agree.
Now, I just bought a Pixel 7. Maybe I need a Pixel 8.
Yeah, I would love a Pixel 8. They're so expensive, though.
Oh, aren't they?
They've sort of taken a leaf out of Apple's book and sort of jacked the price right up.
Probably because they can, right?
Well, this is true.
What are people going to pay? I think that's what Apple are saying. They just pushed the price up over years and years and years. Got to a point, what are they going to pay? Oh, they're not paying it now. Are they just adjust the price? Eventually they get to a sweet spot.
Yeah. And you're right. I'm still buzzy. I feel like we've been speaking very quick because we're still sort of buzzing from episode 50. But
that's all right. In post, I'll slow it down to 0.5 and we'll be good. Google is touting its new Pixel 8 Pro phone as the first phone built for generative AI. As expected, Google's premium smartphone is getting a whole smattering of AI features running on device. Now, we hinted at this at episode 50 that this could be the way they're going to go because they've got this Tensor G3 chip and they can just run it all on device now. They'll have a language model on there. They'll have all your Gen AI running on there. And it'll chew up battery like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, more than likely. But I like some of the features that they've got here. So one of them here is that we've all seen the cop shows from lately, like my wife and I are
Zoom 22.56.
Where my wife and I are currently watching Castle, the series again, and where they zoom into a number plate that's sort of sitting in the distance on a camera, and then all of a sudden it's all cleared up and magic.
That's
one of the things that is going to be able to happen, and you'll be able to say enhance. A bit like Eric O does on South Main Auto. If anybody watches that channel on YouTube, every time he zooms in, he's enhance.
Well, the big famous one is Blade Runner.
Enhance 224 to 176.
Right. I mean, it's the scene where he's zooming in on the scene. He's got the photo there. Oh, got to watch it. He zooms in on this photo and he zooms in and zooms in and zooms in. And what he actually sees is a reflection in a mirror of someone in the other room, and he enhances it so much that he can figure it out that there's like that's something to do with the snake skin or something like that, artificial snake skin. Yeah. Oh no, that's what he finds in the bath. But anyway, you can figure this information out from this zoomed in and enhanced like 20 million times. That's what we're going to be able to do.
Stop. Track 45 right. Stop. Center and stop. Enhance 34 to 36.
So no longer are you going to be zooming in and have pixels so big you can smell them. But yeah, so that's one of the things that they're looking at. Another one which is really cool is Magic Eraser, a Magic Eraser like best take feature, where you can take multiple photos of, say, a group of friends. You take multiple selfies, and you can actually swap people's facial expressions out. based on what you've taken.
Right, to get the best one.
Yeah, to get the best one, so you can compose, which I sort of find a little bit, that's not really a photo. It's not I remember photos where you took a photo on a bit of film and you didn't take 62 photos because you only had 32 shots on the roll. That's it. You took one. Oh, you might have taken two in case the first one didn't come out.
Yeah,
that's right.
And if someone's eyes were closed because of the flash, well, that's what you did.
Tough luck.
And everyone else had red eyes.
Yeah, everybody, had demon eyes. Yeah. One of the other ones too is the audio magic eraser. So you can erase like dogs barking in the background or wind or.
The wind is a big one. I mean, that little clip we took when we were up on up at the Cape. Now, I mean, it's great to have a little clip there of us up on the Cape, but it was a little bit windy, right? Now, the solution up to that to now is to put one of these popper stoppers over it, right? And that stops the wind getting in. But there are downsides to putting that over. It muffles the sound a little bit, and it's not a little bit of hardware you've got to carry around. Wouldn't it be great if you could just eliminate that noise straight away? You might not have it, because if you want to do just a little vox pop just quickly, just go bang, 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 record, you got some noise there, well, great. AI can eliminate that.
Yeah, that's right. And then the last one that I think is really cool is the video boost feature, which allows you to increase and decrease the level of saturation present in a clip. So instead of just doing it on a photo now, you can do it in an entire video, which is really cool. And it's
already a high ISO camera as well.
Yeah,
which we talked about last week. So you can film in low light anyway, but then you can boost it even further with
AI,
saturated before with AI. Yeah.
So really, really cool features coming to the Pixel 8. I really wish I had one, but I don't know that I want to fork out the $1,600 for one.
Yeah, well, there is that. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't even use all the features of the camera in my Pixel 7. I just whip it out and take a photo.
Yeah.
And don't even think about it.
And incidentally, my photos are a lot better than my wife's iPhone's 12 Pro.
Well, if I can come up with an excuse, I'll be getting myself one, I reckon, and do the old cycle of the phones down. If one of the kids drops one of their phones, well, you can have my phone. Yep. I'm getting a new one.
Yeah. No, it's cool. I'm looking forward to it. I really want one. My son would love to have my Pixel 7.
Yep. But the thing is, not everyone's getting this at the moment. This is being rolled out to a select few early testers for feedback.
Yep.
So, I might see how that pans out. Maybe in 6 months when everyone's sort of got access to it, then I might consider it then.
Yeah. That's it.
Well, I think that's about it for now. Like I said, short and sweet this week. That's good. We'll always have more content and a bit more next week, and we might we'll see how we go. We might get some others on. We're certainly going to have a Christmas special at the end of this year, so we've got to start thinking about that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Look, guys, go to iTunes, write a review. That'll really help the show out. You can contact us gcplife@casner.com.au. We've got the website. Just Google that. How are we going with the Mastodon server?
I haven't built the postfix thing yet. I've been so inundated with customer project.
Yeah, well, we're on the same project now. That's exciting. We are. So that's soon just to come around the corner. Of course, don't forget to give some feedback on the socials. And if you went to GCP Life Live, just jump on that post there that I put out last week and just put your thoughts and comments in there. It would be great to hear from some real life listeners of the show. And don't forget, today's show was sponsored by Casner. At Casner, we make your Google Cloud solutions possible. That's about it from me. Anything else from you, Ian?
No, mate. I'm good. It's been a cracker.
It's been a cracker. Thankfully, they stopped cutting down that tree next door, so hopefully we won't hear any of that noise in the show. But that's it. We're out. See you. Bye.
But look, so Super SA is saying that it's unknown at this stage if any of Super SA's data has been accessed. Let's say there. I've lost it. Cool. I'm reading it too, and I can't keep up with my own eyes.